and I know you can get one with a front end loader, including a 50-inch snow blower, because I got it, for about $14,000.
Yes, Representative Merrill.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. For the commissioners, I would be inclined to go along with Representative McCarthy's question, but correct me if I'm wrong. You came in and asked us to take money out of one line and use it for something else,
Yeah.
which is not going to increase the bottom line budget, is it?
No.
So this is all you're doing is asking to switch, permission to switch money from one line to the other without increasing the budget.
Right.
Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Representative Ogden.
I'm sorry, I just want to help clarify what they were asking, because I think you might be a little misled. The contingency fund is not part of the budget. They asked to use money from the contingency fund from the nursing home to pay for the truck. You got me on the tractor. I'm sold on the Comeau, apparently. Okay, so they're not taking money from salaries. Okay, they're taking money from the contingency fund from the nursing home, is what they proposed that we allow them to do. As I understand, is that correct?
That's correct. Madam Chairman,
Yes.
I remember Representative Aldridge saying anytime we want to use contingency money that was not planned for, we needed to come to the delegation. And
That's
that's why I came to the delegation for the vehicle and the snowplow.
Okay.
That's correct.
Right.
And I just, like I said, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate your forthrightness, because that is indeed the case. However, if I may interject, the money from the contingency fund, that money that we use is going to be less money that we have from the contingency fund that's going to flow into the quote-unquote rainy day fund, which is the money we were going to use to help reduce taxes. So it does have an impact in the long run. It's, you know, the money does exist, and we are going to spend it if we buy it. So, you know, but I do believe that although it may not be exactly in the spirit of the budget, that if the commissioners were able to find money within this current appropriated budget and move some lines, they might be, you know, pull some money from some other departments and whatnot, they might be able to come up with the money. And they may not even have to technically, well, if they move money from department to department, they might have to ask.
Yeah.
So I guess, so I think the first question is do we want to vote on letting them take it out of the contingency fund, or do we want them to try to find it within their current budget? Or do we want them to do it at all? But, so I just wanted to offer that as an alternative to the contingency fund.
Okay, thank you. Representative McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner Sorensen, do you know how, I know when we were talking about the $30,000, whatever it was, for nurses overtime, that you said a lot of that would be used for during the move, that
Yeah.
a lot of nurses.
Yeah.
Do you know where we are on that right now?
No, I don't. I don't.
I suggest you take less than a tenth of the money set aside for nurses overtime, $18,000 for the tractor and the snow blower. I'll vote for it in a second if you take it out of the overtime.
Representative Umberger.
I'm not exactly sure when we're going to see the third quarter numbers. Okay, but we don't know where we stand overall in the budget, and I'm not expecting it to snow in October, or if it does snow in October, it's not going to be around very long. And so, for my personal thing, I would much rather see the third quarter numbers before I make any decision about this. And I'm not sure that I could, under any circumstances, vote for it to come out of the contingency fund without taking a look at where we are and what we expect to happen in the in the in the fourth quarter.
Representative Merrill,
Thank
McConkey,
you,
Babson.
I have no problem telling them to use this money if they can take it out of the budget by taking out of a line item in the budget. I do have a problem if we try to tell them what line to take it out of, because I think that's their job.
Contingency.
No,
is
I'm
it?
not
You're not
talking
talking
contingency.
contingency. You're talking about,
the regular budget.
Yeah.
If we agree they should take it out of the budget, that's fine, but I don't think it's up to us to tell them what line they have to
No.
take it out of. That's what they get paid for.
I don't think anybody told them. Somebody
No.
suggested.
No, but I'm saying, you said you would vote for it if you were willing. and that's
I
what I'm just
suggested.
saying. Yeah.
Representative McConkey and then Representative Babson.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. It's my understanding that the 3/4-ton truck that we're using right now that stays in a heated space year-round to maintain its dilapidated condition,
Well, not right now, but it's not in there year-round, sorry. To interrupt.
that is only basically been used for the purpose of sanding. To suggest that we need to go buy a tractor that might be a longer wheelbase than what is going to be, what's going to be needed. I think you need to take, and we're going to have a truck that needs to be registered and so forth onto the county expense. I go back to suggesting that you take a longer range view of what it is that you need to get this accomplished. I'm sure Will would be much happier with a uniloader, a tracked machine, short wheelbase, only extends maybe a couple thousand pounds per square foot on the ground, that he could put multiple attachments onto. He could use it as a bobcat, he could use it as a blower, which I have on it. He could have it for a side loader. He could do all of these things. These are all attachments that he can add on. He can rent to find out what he likes. But I think to move to purchase another 3/4-ton truck that we really only need at this point in time, from my understanding, to take care of snow removal, is spending money that we don't need to spend yet. If you have a shortfall, hire somebody to do it. But let's look in Representative Babson's subcommittee at what the long-range goal, what it is that Will really needs to have there. And I think you're going to see that a tractor is going to be too long for him. And owning that small Kubota extremely limits how much material he can move. And I think the farm would be far better served by a uniloader. It's a Bobcat with tracks. The cost is coming down. It may cost more, but it's going to save you money and give him a lot more flexibility. So I'd rather not see you buy a truck to get you through, as Representative Unberger has said, is a 3-month problem for something we've got to pay for 5 years.
Can you put a sander on that?
Yes, you
can.
can.
Representative Babson.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I wholeheartedly agree with Representative McConkey, and I would also like to offer another option. That perhaps this body, if we all agree that Will needs a sander or a snow blower, we appropriate X amount of dollars every week, sometimes every other week in the market bulletin, there's snow removal equipment available, snow blowers, tractors with cabs on them, and that Will is certainly smart enough and proved that he's capable enough. If we give him the option, let him go out and look around and find something that might do the job.
Okay. What does anybody want to do?
Move the question?
We don't have a motion.
We don't have a motion.
We have a request. 38,000 out of the contingency. I have a feeling that's not going to work.
If you need a motion, I move to deny the request.
Wait a minute. There's a motion by Representative McConkey to deny a request of 38,000 out of contingency. Second it?
Second.
Second it by Umberger. Discussion. Yes, Representative
Representative
Babson.
McConkey, do you want to do away with the entire request for 38, or do you just want to do away with the sanding truck?
My feeling is that it shouldn't be coming from contingency money, number one, so that's the first point. And I'm against purchasing another truck.
So, are you in favor or against allowing Will to have a snow blower?
I don't know the answer to that.
My phone, it wasn't mine.
Tell me that again, I'm sorry, I was listening to something else.
I'm questioning Representative McConkey's motion, whether he wanted to deny the full 38,000, which would eliminate both the snow blower and the plow truck, or whether he was, as I agree, just wanted to get rid of the truck.
Okay. Representative Fleck.
Anything like that, I think, could be taken up in a second motion. We could make a motion and direct the commissioners to, and will, to review what's out there, what would be available. But I think this would get their request, the commissioner's request, off the books, and then we can start afresh with another motion.
Okay. Yes, Representative McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It's my opinion that the commissioners don't have to do anything. The commissioners right now have the authority to move appropriations from line item to line item without our permission. All they gotta do is sit down and say, okay, let's move 5,000 from here, 5,000 from here, we need 17,000 to do this. They got it done. They don't need our permission to do it.
But he's gotta have it in his budget.
There has to be leftover money, yes, Commissioner Sorensen.
Well, the reason I brought it up was because it was going to come out of that fund. Yes, we can do what you want to do. I don't like doing that, to move it from one line item to another. If we have to, if it comes down to that, we may have to do that. I wanted to get it out of contingency money so that it was clean and done with.
Okay. So there's a motion on the floor by Representative McConkey to deny the request for the full $38,000 coming out of contingency for a truck and snow blower, second by Representative Umberger. And undoubtedly, there'll be a motion after this, depending on what happens with this. Anybody else have discussion? All those in favor of denying the request, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, so the request is denied. So can't take it out of, can't do that. Is there anything further that we would like to do? Representative Babson.
I'd like a motion that we appropriate, I guess, $4,000, and stipulate that Will has the authority to purchase a snow blower and do it on his own.
Where's the money coming from?
Yeah, where's the money coming from?
How much?
4,000.
4,000. Same line items that 38,000 was gonna come from.
Contingency.
It won't come from contingency.
No, but the commissioners have the right to move that money from whatever line they choose.
They do now.
Will has a question.
Okay, there's a motion by Representative Babson to appropriate.
No, not appropriate.
No, it's not appropriate. We want to approve $4,000 for Will to get a snow blower that will do the job.
Yes.
Is there a second? Is there a second? Is there a second?
How about a comment?
There is, if there is no second, then the motion doesn't stand and we can continue on. So there is no second? There is no second. Representative McCarthy.
I think the reason there's no second is because $4,000 for a hand-pushed snow blower is a little bit much.
Do you have a motion?
We don't,
Representative Algren, do you have a motion?
I don't have a motion, but I have suggested if our objective right now is for Will to be able to get a snow blower that costs around $3,000, there must be that amount of money already in the farm budget that they can find, and they can just do it. We don't have to make a motion for them to do that, okay?
Exactly.
If they want to take money from the nursing home and move it over to the farm, then they have to come over to us and ask us,
That's why I did it.
you know? So if the commissioners want to suggest to us that they need to move $3,000 from administration over to the farm, they can suggest that to us. But if not, then they can just trade the money within the farm and go buy the snow blower. And we don't need to do anything.
Representative McConkey.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'd be more in favor of them going out and taking a peek and seeing how much money they need for a specific piece of equipment. My Google search has an errand professionals